next generation of psychopaths.
Have you guys ever heard of hazing before? Because as somebody who didn't attend college, I am just now learning about this. You are about to see the most insane body cam footage. Apparently, the fire alarm went off while these frat boys were holding some type of ritual in a basement, and the footage is so insane that some people believe it is AI. So we're going to watch it and try to differentiate or look for clues of it being real or not, because it is so creepy, and it kind of makes me happy that I didn't attend college. So check out this body cam footage.
Does anyone want to be forthcoming on what's going on?
Hey, this stops here, guys. This is a police department. This stops here.
No one's gonna
Who's
say
in
shit.
charge?
What is happening? What is happening here? So you have some men who are standing against this column. They're all in the dark. They look super dirty and wet and covered in, I believe, what is ketchup or some type of sausage. You have people blindfolded. This is like some Epstein level stuff.
Yep.
So I guess what hazing is they embarrass people or shame them by getting them to drink alcohol or do embarrassing things as a way to enter into some type of community like a frat. So I guess that is what is happening here, but the way that they're acting is so creepy. They look possessed, they look like demons, and if these are the future politicians of America, we are cooked.
Police department. This.
Well, also, keep in mind, fucking Skull and Bones. I believe it was George Bush. That was a college frat slash like secret society, and a lot of other very important people were in it too. It all starts with shit like this.
Stops here. Who's in charge?
We're upstairs.
What is this?
How about we start cleaning this up? Everyone take their blindfolds off.
What? I mean, it's also weird because maybe they think that this is a part of the ritual and they don't understand that it's an actual police officer there. This doesn't look like AI footage to me. What do you guys think? AI or real?
Honestly, I'm not surprised anymore. It's
We're already given
definitely real.
multiple commands to clear the room and get out of here, but no one's moving. Apparently they're taking this pretty serious.
Yes.
You in charge?
You said
Still haven't found out who's in charge?
This is in Iowa.
no one asked for house, Dad.
Where's he at?
Summit. Working at Summit.
So,
Bro, you sound like Steve-O after doing a fucking 3-month binge of fucking Whippets. That dude's crazy sounding.
that's cool.
The house dad? These people are so weird. This is what they're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to do? What?
So,
So,
you have
obviously-
some here.
yeah, the lieutenant's coming.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Definitely figured out why you wouldn't let me pass you initially.
Questionable.
Yeah. I get it.
Fuck.
I would probably be calling your house dad or whoever
House dad?
to get him here, since ultimately he's probably in charge, right? Unless someone else is in charge.
I do have his numbers.
No one's gonna squeal, dude.
Yeah.
He was gonna have a fire alarm set off and just run.
It's manual.
Here's the deal. From what I'm being told, this is like shutting down chapter type stuff. I need to start talking now.
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that's fine. I need to talk to people.
You call Summit.
Can I call Summit?
Yeah.
I'm not calling Summit.
I have no contact with Summit.
You're not being very helpful.
No,
Nobody in here has any way to contact the guy that's in charge of this house. This is all going in their apartment. So,
Go
I'm
to the
just
dean,
confused
man.
as to why on earth are they acting so weird? It's as if they are hiding something massive.
They all
I mean,
do.
if they were really just standing around and making jokes that are all in good faith, then they wouldn't be so secretive. They're literally not telling them who is the guy who is the house dad. House dad. Seriously?
Right.
I just cannot believe that this is what I missed by not going to college. I'm kind of okay with that.
How does nobody live here? Just hanging out?
You tell me.
No, you tell me. I don't know.
What are they hiding? They're hiding something. There's probably tunnels going to somewhere not good.
University of Iowa? You do? What's your major?
Business.
Business? What's your name?
Why?
What's your name is?
Why?
Jose.
Jose? Jose, what should I say?
What?
Why?
Go on. Go and talk.
I won't tell you that.
Huh?
I don't want to tell you that.
Okay. How old are you?
21.
Alright,
What's
yeah.
my ID?
Yeah, you got an idea or anything to prove?
Why does this guy talk as if he smokes 50 cigarettes a day?
If you want to
It's
see
probably
my,
whippets.
you want to see my ID?
At 21 years old, this is what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good path so far. I suggest finding a new one. Just casually continues drinking.
Bro, what kind of bush beer is that?
Is there not any lights in this place? Wouldn't the first thing that they do is to be turn on the lights?
Right?
I think it's fake.
Huh?
I think it's fake.
You think it's fake?
What?
You think it's fake or you know it's fake? There's two different
Oh.
things there.
Okay, this is really not looking like AI to me. What do you think?
How in the fuck are you gonna say you're 21 and then hand them your ID after it totally just being like, oh, you want to see my ID? And then just being like, I think it's fake. Like, dude, you are high as fuck. Or genuinely retarded. Bro.
Because the way that they're moving, usually there are a little bit, even now, there's still glitches or it just looks like clay. Yet this looks very real. Okay, the movements, everything looks very real. If that
Well, another thing, too, they scrolled up a little bit ago and it did say the traditional, like, bar at the top that shows, like, the timestamp. It also says Axios and all that. So it's probably real footage, but I don't think anybody wants to squeal. I really think so. At the end of the day, what they need to do is contact the dean, and the dean needs to shut that fucking chapter down. Just straight up, needs to shut it down. If you don't want to cooperate with the police, you can fuck all the way off and get out of school.
If anything, it was a reenactment. I hope it was.
Candace 142, won by DL, number at Iowa when you're ready.
It's definitely not Jose. I go by Jose. When you thought these people are we need to assemble it. I'll step inside.
Okay. So that guy was absolutely no help
Nope.
whatsoever. When he finally handed them his ID after taking a drink and blowing some smoke, he hands it to them and says, it might be fake. Is it legal to have a fake ID? Why would you be telling a police officer that? This is weird stuff. The police finally got a hold of the fraternity president. God, I bet he was shook. He knew the chapter was blank out of luck at this point. He pretty much had to confess to there being hazing. Okay, so I had to literally search up what is hazing. How do you define hazing? Hazing is defined as any activity expected of someone joining a group or to maintain full status in a group that humiliates, degrades, or risks emotional and or physical harm regardless of the person's willingness to participate. So you're telling me that some people in that basement didn't want to be there. Maybe they were tricked into it, and then little by little, but why were they there though? It seems like people participate in this because they want to be accepted in some group, but they don't want to have to do these things to be accepted, yet they do it anyway.
It's because it's entry-level secret society bullshit, except for these guys are low tier as fuck. At least it would seem that way. Because you guys would have covered your shit so well to the point where nobody would have known that place was that fucking wild. No joke. This is low-tier shit. Like, terrible.
But by doing that, they're still the one who is making the choices. It seems like getting jumped into a gang. Obviously, you're not going to want to go through getting all the punches, but you're making that decision to do so. Okay, any group that is going to try to do this stuff to you to get you to join is not one that you should want to be a part of. Because eventually,
Right.
that just means that you're going to be the person doing that to other people. And that's not a good lifestyle. Hazing has
Agreed.
existed for hundreds of years. The first documented hazing death in the U.S. was in 1838? Oh my goodness. So these can happen in any type of organization with a hierarchy. academic clubs, fraternities, and sororities. And there's a lot of stories about people having to do very degrading things, be violent things, branding, water intoxication, abduction, and kidnappings. This
Yep, heard
is
of
what
that
is
too.
happening in our universities as a common occurrence, so much so that basically every university, this is from the University of Michigan, needs to make their students aware of it and tell them what to do or how to recognize it. Why is this so common? This is Epstein type stuff.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it is.
it Jeffrey Epstein who would try to make people come to his island and do embarrassing things, get recordings or some type of evidence of that, to then blackmail them? Like,
Well, she already she actually just went to the fucking Bohemian Grove area, did a little video and a whole bunch of other shit in Guerneville and a few other things. I feel like she should do a piece on Skull and Bones maybe, and it'll probably connect the dots with this particular video.
later on, so that they would have to pledge loyalty to him because they have blackmail on them. That's what this is, and this is happening in our universities. That video is so creepy. So it includes the following willful acts with or with the consent: physical injury, assault or battery, kidnapping or imprisonment, physical activity. This is gang level criminal stuff. It creates a risk to them, discomfort, embarrassment, degradation, humiliation, ridicule. Why would anybody do this? They can brand themselves, label or shave body parts, greeting people in a specific way. These people are literally creating gangs. Loss of voice, having to yell. Oh my goodness. Physical exhaustion. 82% of deaths from hazing come from alcohol use. So look, this is from the NC State University. They share some research and share where it commonly takes place. And it is illegal. They have defined out what hazing is. That was clearly what was happening in that video, if that video is real. And it is illegal. It is not allowed. And I guess in certain states, they have maybe differing rules on it. But yeah, it is weird to know that in our country, people are being proven to have committed fraud. People have been proven to be a part of Jeffrey Epstein's island and stuff, and yet nothing's happening. You have these college students who were clearly doing some weird hazing stuff, and I guess nothing really seemed to be happening. It seemed more like the college students were in more control than the police officers.
Well, I mean, a lot of these situations have to do with the hope that they'll get into the in crowd later in life. And so I guess in theory, the way they justify this in their brain is that I'm going to deal with this torture now, so that way I can not really I wouldn't have to worry about the rat race later. And then, have some sort of, background security behind things. And I don't know, man. It's basically, in my eyes, like almost like selling your soul to the devil or something. It's fucking weird.
The officers finally speak to the fraternity president.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you first and foremost, I'm a little frustrated.
I would be too.
We're going to get through it, okay? What's going on tonight?
It's their lead up to initiation.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the deal with what are we doing in the basement?
It's basically a ritual where they're blindfolded
Okay.
and get messed with.
Okay.
Mess with?
So
It's basically a ritual where they're blindfolded and they get messed with. Come again?
That's a way to neuter the context.
Did you guys not have parents or anybody or any boundaries or anything that ever taught you where the line was?
Right?
Where at some point you would be crossing that? I think when you get to the point of needing to blindfold someone, you've crossed that line.
I think so.
The entire time that we've been here, which has now been, I think, 15, 20 minutes, we have been demanding to speak to somebody in charge, where nobody knows you, apparently, in the house. Nobody knows who's in charge.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the deal. We have a hazing event, right?
Oh.
We're going to do a report because we responded to a fire alarm,
Oh.
which We were trying to get people to evacuate because of the fire alarm. And from my understanding, you guys refused to evacuate from a fire alarm. After
Okay, so they're so into their ritual that they refused to stop after the fire alarms went off and after police showed up. That's how into this they are. That's how obsessive, and it's like they're hypnotized. The way that they were caught like deer in the headlights was freaky. None of them moved. They didn't talk. They just stood there as if they were at the Bohemian Grove
Yep.
watching something so important they couldn't take their eyes off of it. I don't like that. Now that I know what the signs of hazing are, I realized that I did witness one time at a bar in Peru where these college students were going to be joining some type of club, and they had rented out the entire bar, and they had this circle, and one by one they were pouring water on an individual's pants so that they would be super wet, and then they were laying them down on their stomach and they were going to hold them up so that person was laying face down. And then I believe it was a teacher that was taking a belt and was hitting them on the butt like multiple times, I think, until like they had enough, or until people were like, okay, stop, or something. It was so weird, and I remember thinking, man, that's like so creepy. I don't think that this is right at all. And
That's
I wasn't
dumb.
sure if it was a cultural thing in Peru, but it was really creepy. I was like, I kind of want this to stop.
an officer is ordering everybody to vacate the premise.
Seriously, what the heck?
And then on top of that, we find this hazing event. We want to speak to somebody. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anyone. Nobody knows what's going on. This is going in a report. The University of Iowa is going to see this. And with the stuff going around,
So it's almost as if they're all tied into each other that nobody could tell on another person, right? Nobody is telling the policeman what's going on
Of course.
because they're all guilty somehow,
Mm-hmm.
even though it appeared as though they were just standing there. That's what I'm taking from this.
across the country, students dying from hazing events. I'm not saying it's to that level. I'm not saying anything. But
Well, it is certainly to a high degree level of hazing.
the university...
No, but their behavior is fucking obstruction. At the end of the day, a fire alarm was called. They do have to make a report, and you're not evacuating. You're not doing anything according to the protocol that is required. And so, what the fuck, dude? You know, there has to be something that gets done about this.
University has a very, very strict
Oh
policy
my goodness.
on hazing. If
So
I can't
sad.
talk to people, and if people aren't going to cooperate with me, that's their right. They don't have to speak to me. However, that means only my observations are going to go into this report. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to look worse than if people can kind of explain to us what's going on.
Right?
How would you even begin to give a report on this? Nobody would believe you. People don't even believe it's a real video because of how creepy it was. So props to Joseph Gaya, the Alpha Delta Phi, I don't even know how to say this, member at Iowa who stood his ground for his fraternity. People are just like encouraging their commitment still.
Stood up for his brothers, laid down the line for his brothers. Like, what the fuck, dude? You guys are retarded. Stupid.
I don't know.
These are the same people that are going to feel above the law later in life. You know? This is a bad look for you guys, man.
This is not looking right to me, guys.
Exactly.
The next day, police pay a visit to Joseph's apartment after he was very uncooperative the day before.
I don't think that we should be praising Joseph for standing his ground for his
Exactly.
fraternity. I think we need somebody who is so brave that they will come out and just tell on everybody. That is what we've been needing also with the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Yep.
Somebody, because so many people were involved, but yet nobody's saying anything, right? Is this
Mm-hmm.
similar at all to the Epstein files? The way that they're operating? Why is this a common occurrence within our universities?
After
Right?
10 minutes of talking, he again proved to be uncooperative and difficult to deal with.
So you interjecting yourself into that conversation, what good is that?
They don't need to talk to the cops. I don't even
Why are
speak to
you
them.
deciding who they need to talk to
I'm
though?
just saying, they're my buddies, they're my friends.
Right. The police are doing an investigation.
About what?
They're trying to figure out what's going on in that room.
What was going on? What have you heard?
He just answers everything with a question. If you
Bro.
ever get caught with a salesperson asking you questions, like, what's your goals or something, just be like, well, what are your goals? Like, that's what this guy is doing to get out of it.
So they're doing an investigation.
Yep.
You don't dictate the investigation, right?
Yeah.
That's for the police. That's for us to investigate, right?
Yeah, I get
Right.
that.
He's like, I'm going to be investigating the investigators.
You understand that.
Yeah.
So why are you dictating who the police can talk to and can't talk
I'm
to?
just telling my buddies not to talk to him. That's it.
He's like, because I'm the head of this alpha whatever, and we rule everything. It's kind of crazy because in college towns, they kind of do in some ways.
Yeah. So you're interfering with
Yeah.
the police officers.
Not at all.
Literally about
Not
to
at
say
all.
that.
But
He
you
never said, "Oh, if you don't get away, you're getting arrested." He never said that once.
did tell you to step away.
That guy is so sassy.
Oh,
So
fuck.
some people think that, you know, this hazing thing, that people speaking out against it is just kind of ridiculous. And they're like, just let boys be boys and tie themselves up and do stuff.
Right.
One post that I saw was like, people just don't understand how important hazing is to a community. And I disagree with that completely. Because if a group is making it so that you cannot have freedom to be yourself or to act the way that you want or to say certain things and that you have to follow all these codes, why would you want to be a part of that group? Just give up.
Dude, this is supposed to be our, like, next generation of fucking scholars, not next generation of psychopaths. Yes, the shit needs to be investigated and people need not obfuscate and be fucking stupid about it.
Of all your freedoms just to fit in. That's so lame. So lame. Literally, the most valuable thing on this earth is being able to stand out, to not fit in.
Fair?
This is such a nothing burger. It's pathetic even to watch. Bunch of drunk guys made to stand in their underwear in the dark.
Right?
The only ones upset in the comments are betas and mentally ill women. Most people will never
That's
understand this. Those of us that do have no issue with it. The stuff we did and to our pledges in the 90s would be a major motion picture award today. I'll do it all again. I mean, it's kind of like the whole, when you're young, I don't know. Like, there's this idea that when you're young, I don't know, like early 20s, you can either spend that time partying and just living it up, and people are like, oh, that's an era in your life where you don't have any responsibilities, so you should, and you create all of these memories. But then again, if those memories just come from being super drunk and doing a bunch of things that you really regret, it takes away the fun, the humor, and anything exciting about it, because people don't actually talk about the next morning when you're super hungover, or you don't know what you said or what you did, and now you have a bad relationship with somebody else, and your relationship with your family and everything else, that it doesn't make it worth it. And the decisions that we make when we're young are so important because there's so many more years in front of them, and it really does set up a life path, and you become the people that you hang around. And so I get people defending it and being like, oh, you wouldn't understand, and in many ways I don't, because I wasn't in college, and I guess sororities also do similar things like this. And yet I've also heard of women having to do really bad things to be a part of it.
Heard of that
And
too.
so, I don't know. Why is it so cool to be such a loser? I just wish
Right.
that personal development was a cool thing. I mean, and it is in some ways. There's people who join gyms and they help each other stick to routines and what they're eating and what they're reading. I think that those are the groups that we should try to be a part of. Like Jim Rohn says, go where the expectations are high. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Have you guys ever heard of...
Yeah. That's a little worrisome. It's a little fucking weird.